are back after the holiday season with another episode of Wall Street and Web3. The bells are ringing. I'm your host, Frame, and over there, the lag slayer is HHTrader. Man, how was your holiday, H?
It's pretty good, pretty good. A lot of food. Got some family time, and just kind of repurposed for the year 2026. I know it's gonna be some ups and downs and all of that, but I'm thinking that it's going to be. I think it's going to be lucrative. I think there's going to be more opportunities with these empty spaces that's been created, but yeah, I think this year is going to be one of the better years. And you know what? Every year has been pretty good. We can see that in the market. For some reason, it just won't fall. So it's just every year has been lifting and breaking new highs and all that. So I'm expecting more of it.
Well, we know the reason why it ain't falling because they don't stop printing money to prop it up, but
Exactly.
it's going to be a crazy year. There's so much going on across every industry. AI has already started the year off hot in the stock market again with Nvidia and Google. I think it's getting pretty clear Google is definitely the front runner in the AI race on everything. But Fed's got to see some things. Some job reports are coming up here soon. There's rumor that we're going to see another interest rate cut, which is only good for the market. Bad for the U.S. dollar, but good for the market.
Yeah, and I don't know how much they care about the U.S. dollar anymore because it's just a piece of paper that's IOU. So propping up the U.S. dollar, I don't think is the end all be all of the U.S. because the U.S. has these services no matter what. So let's say if the U.S. dollar falls through the floor, who cares? Let it burn. It's IOU. Nobody wants it. Most people using credit cards. Most people using crypto. Most people using all this other stuff. Why even let it burn, as Usher said?
Yeah, I mean they're already. I'm not sure if it's in action already, but I know it's been in talks about them recalling the penny. Pennies.
No, that's already definitely going through.
Oh, is it going through? Okay, I didn't know if
they've been hard on that because it's just like, I mean, nobody is really. We're getting further and further away from hard money, further and further away. And I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, if we digitize everything, then we own nothing. But it's like, we don't own anything anyway. You buy your land, you buy all this stuff, and you're still gonna get taxed on it. You don't have anything that you own that you can just say, oh, this is mine, except your body. But then again, they can take that at the end of your life and do some experiments and put you in a jar. So it is what it is.
Very true. If you check that organ donor on your ID, you definitely going in the mixer. You definitely going to be a chicken nugget in your afterlife.
We've been looking at all the things that's been happening in 2025, and it's looking like about 400 billion in capital that has been poured into AI. And so now in 2026, so think about this, 400 billion was the phase 1. So we're entering phase 2.
Yeah.
If all that money is flowing, a lot of times I see people that say, oh, there's no opportunity. If there's movement in the economy, it's almost like being in a flow of a river. There's a river coming down, get in the river. If you know what the river is, if the river is AI, don't be out here doing, weaving chicken baskets saying, man, there's no opportunities. I mean, even with that, AI can help you, but get in the river, get as close to the river as, if you can get on the bank of the river and just throw your lure out there. If you're in a boat on the river, even better. If you're in your waders on the river, even better. The closer contact you get, the better.
Yep. And we're going to see some big moves in AI this year, especially robots. Like it was like the first wave of AI this last few years has been a lot. It was all, what do you want to say? It was all new. So a lot of skepticism, a lot of regulations that need to be figured out. A lot of stuff need to be figured out. But we talked about a little bit last time, the infrastructure of AI, the backbone of all this is where a lot of the money is going to start focusing on, and we're going to see a lot more consumer-based AI and robot products. Insiders are reporting that Samsung and Tesla are about to prepare and unveil home assistant bots. And these are bipedal or wheeled androids, and they're being integrated with Gemini or ChatGPT and be able to do laundry and dishes. So we're going to see it's not just going to be AI software anymore. It's going to be consumer products. It's going to be the backbone, all the infrastructure, all that type of work.
So, we talked about this before with the job market. Unemployment is still rising. And kind of like what we were talking about with the river thing, if you're starting from zero, like zero tech savviness, and having to go into a world of AI, you feel probably so disconnected from the world right now. But if you have any type of technical or like computer skills, I would say ramp that up. Whatever you have, because I talk to all kind of engineers, network engineers, sound engineers, electricians. All of this AI stuff is booming. They're getting so many jobs because people need to more efficiency managing power, more efficiency, and all this stuff. When it comes to think about it, you're in music, and you have a sound engineer that is trying to better or more efficiently set up a studio with AI or with whatever. He's working with electricians, he's working with all these people, and it's like there is money out here to be made if you are close to the river. And one of my cousins is going for to be an electrician, and I'm like, bro, I work with electricians every week. I mean, we go into buildings and I have to work beside them because I'm doing networking. I got my networking Ethernet and fiber up there, and I got to make sure they're not blowing my stuff up. But, it's like, bro, the money is there. And I really think this emptiness, this unemployment is because businesses are seeing the value and they're saying, let's go ahead and train and really, really train people up on this. And by increasing the number there, it's going to be harder to train that group. So if you have a smaller group, that smaller group, let's see, and AI is pretty new. So let's say you have a smaller group of 200 people that you really train on AI. Those 200 people can train so many more on video calls or however you want to do it. But they're hard training these I guess you could call them like level 3 technicians. They'll be the ones that'll be solving the problems where regular people can't solve them. Level 1 can't solve them. Help desk can't solve them. You send it to the level 3 and they jump into the back end and actually solve the problem. So I think it's a money thing as well. When it comes to the growth of these AI jobs, you really have to have some training to understand what you're putting your hands on.
I think it surprised everybody. The GDP growth for the end of 2025 actually being quite a bit higher. And I'm sure tariffs had something to do with it, but I think a major part of it is what we're talking about, the growth in jobs for AI, teaching people how to use it, and the technicians, like you're talking about, everything you just talked about.
Well, the biggest thing is compliance. People are not wanting to get sued. Let's say you get 1,500 new AI technicians, but they're not following any kind of compliance. And this AI can touch people's files. It can touch companies' databases. It can touch all this stuff. And so if you're not in compliance, that lawsuit, oh yeah, you start to understand, oh, that's why they're not mass producing AI technicians, because the compliance it's still being built out right now. And so you don't want, no. It's almost like it's right before the spaceship leaves the launch pad. We've been through phase 1. This phase 2, I think we're going to see some big liftoff and some explosiveness. Even in when I was looking through the periods of just looking into red states and blue states, how they're managing their money, how they're managing their businesses, and what's going on with those. Blue states have always paid more, right? They pay more. You go out there and make some money, blah, blah, blah. But their cost of living is higher. Yeah. So you spend a lot as far as just on taxes, on public, whatever. I mean, you spend a lot. You come to a red state, taxes are lower. It's the cost of living, food and stuff. We're like, gas is still not $5. We're still sitting around 280, 260. We're cool. I mean, and a lot of these like the people that moved out of California because of how the real estate and how they're trying to increase, and New York, how they're increasing the taxes on the rich. Those rich people are coming to Texas. They're coming to Florida. They're coming down to these red states and saying, hey, y'all don't want us there. Dope. Guess what? We have the service. No matter if you take our money, it doesn't matter. We have the service. And that's the thing, like I was saying with the US dollar, it doesn't matter. The value isn't in the currency, it's in the service. And as long as you can provide that service, like if you're an electrician and you got experience, nobody can take that from you. Like you've been doing computer work, you've been doing the graphics, you've been doing crypto, nobody can take your experience. It doesn't matter. You can start from zero because you're a builder.
That's the routine. We get up and then we get back down and start from zero again. It's all right. That's how it goes. Sometimes we start in negative and we can start below zero. That has happened several times as well. All this together, we got the 400 billion that came in for GDP growth, a lot coming from tariffs. We're gonna be getting a big tax return season. They're cutting a lot of taxes, it sounds like. But still, and they're saying inflation's low, but still prices are generally high. Red or blue states at the same time right now, the prices are just high in general.
Yep.
And is it the point where companies are just trying to price gouge as long as they can before we start seeing some prices go back down? Or is inflation? Hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you're ready for a new episode every Sunday. And is it the point where companies are just trying to price gouge as long as they can before we start seeing some prices go back down? Or is inflation really not under control like they're saying it is? Or maybe both.
Yeah. And I guess it's an experimental phase too, because if we think about it, these like let's say healthcare companies, let's say if they change that bill where companies aren't mandatory, they have to provide you healthcare. That's going to be money back in the company's pockets, but a lot of people aren't ready for that type of self-insurance, right? Because if you've been working for the past 20 years and your company's been providing this, and now all of a sudden it's only two options if they leave. One, you become self-insured where you can just handle the medical expenses on your own out of pocket. And the other is you're going to have to purchase from the marketplace, which is super high. The marketplace, all those prices have gone up through the roof. So what's the best option? Self-insured. Like in the old days when your family had to nurse you back to health, it wasn't you go to a hospital. It's like, no, the village or the community doctor, they'll come and see you, prescribe you medicines for infections and things, but your family nurses you back to health. Yeah. So it's I mean, if we go back to that, that's gonna be kind of, I think there's going to be a new building platform because most people have moved so far away from the family structure. Bringing that back in, I think that's going to make a surplus in this economy as well, because families go in together to buy real estate like the government is doing. The government buying up all this real estate. Yeah. That used to be families doing that, buying up real estate, buying up land and all that. And since we got the satellite families, that broke the system that was supposed to hold families together. So I think it's creating a whole lot of new ways to tackle this new economy that's coming out. One of the things I think you're getting to, you talked about the Big Beautiful Bill Act, which is supposed to be getting us $100 billion in refunds, and we'll see about that. To be honest, refunds are a good and bad thing. They're good in the fact that, yeah, you're getting money back, but this is money that you should have actually had on your paycheck. So it could be a twofold thing where it's like, if you get a whole bunch back, that's money off of your check that was taken out that you could have just had in pocket.
Right.
The other thing I was looking at, of course, we know our brother, our dear friend, our one of the GOATs, Warren Buffett, stepped down. on in December 2025, and a new guy's coming in, Greg Abel, and that's a crazy name to come in behind Buffett, Greg Abel. But
Hey, somebody's got to be able to do it.
yeah, and they said that he was a top, like, even when Buffett was in there, he was like the top guy that they were like, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to investing. We all know Warren Buffett, 95 years old, spent 60 years in that CEO position, which is crazy. Most people be like, I'm a retire. I just think retirement is a dream, really, because that only happened when, like, the U.S. that was made in the U.S. retiring at 60 something. Yeah. Most people worked until they died, and they did what they loved until they died. The problem is most people in the U.S. now spend their whole life trying to get to what they love to do instead of starting with what they love to do. Yep. So, it's you got to have money in the U.S. to move. I was watching I think it was a TikTok video or something like that, where one of it was an Asian guy was talking about, in the U.S. all you need is money to move up. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the whatever, because he was like compared to their testing and their standardized testing over there with the geometry and all of the different levels of math that they have to take, he was like, man, bro, I'm glad I'm in America because their pay is ridiculously low in comparison to what's over here, but their structures are still lower quality than what's over here. So, it's one of those things where we are still the land of opportunity. And no matter how much they build over there or build wherever, we're the cleanest mix of boiling pot that there is. Like, when it comes to all cultures, when it comes to all religions or whatever, we're the cleanest one. Everywhere else, you try to push another religion in China or push another religion in Russia, you're gonna face some back blows or back shots. I don't know which one, but it's one of those things where we are in the land of opportunity. We have to, and we're here. We're already here in America. We speak English, so it's like you need to capitalize on what is in front of you. AI. What is in, if it switches, guess what? Go to the next thing. Go to the next thing. It's not so much about trying to master something completely, but it's like, let me just get my hands in it. Let me just learn about it and be able to teach my family. And a lot of people, they get these jobs, these high jobs like lawyers and all this stuff, but they teach their families nothing. The lawyers that I know, their whole families are lawyers. Their kids are sitting there watching them go through law, watching them go through whatever, and they're teaching them that stuff. And so you like, why are they so far ahead? Why are they just passing their bar like that? They literally been doing this since they were 10. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. So, they will sue you out of your shoes at 12. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. You better not cut in the cafeteria line. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. In world news, just happened right before we were recording this, Trump bombed Venezuela and we got Maduro.
Yep.
And that's I didn't realize it was going to be bombing Venezuela, but that's like the second small country we've bombed over the last week or two. Yeah, maybe more than that. I don't know. We're land of opportunity in the whole globe right now. Everybody can get it, apparently.
Oh yeah, anybody. And one of the reasons that they went over there was because, their main, what they said the reason was because of the drugs and the narco terrorism, right? Yeah, trafficking drugs and all of that, which is true. We've always known Venezuela's been had a hot hand in the drug movement, but also they have oil. So I want to see how that's going to affect, taking their president or whatever, how that's going to affect it, because oil, I've been watching the markets and oil has been trending downward. So since they're doing this, how is it going to affect the price? Is it going to jump or what? Because I'm like, look, if oil goes down more because we capture their reserves or whatnot, or let's say if that's part of their the deal to get their president back, hey, let us get this percentage of oil. Let us come in, get our hands wet over there in that oil. I mean, he's a major bargaining chip. It's not like we can do this to Saudi Arabia and be like, hey, let's go get 3 of their kings and then, be like, oh yeah, we're gonna take your oil. No, they got too many people. But Venezuela,
Yeah,
I mean, the cartels can only do so much.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely. I didn't realize there was oil in Venezuela like that. That definitely
Mm-hmm.
makes a lot of sense now. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. I
That's
think it.
spinning back to the AI and robot narrative
Yeah.
with all these bombings and military actions going on. The AI military stocks and military robots, those type
Yes.
of stocks have got to be starting to heat up. I mean,
Yes. On Friday, I made money on a stock. They sold 6 military drones to the U.S. Army, and I was like,
easy
no
money.
brainer, easy
Yeah,
money. I
easy
was in
money,
there.
light work.
Yeah. So I forgot what the name of that. Let me see what that stock was.
That's the perfect.
Oh,
That's the
UAVS. UAVS was,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I know about UAVS. I've
Yeah.
seen it. I
So
think I traded it before.
that one they sold that, and I was like, they only sold 6 drones, but these drones were like super high tech.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of vague because they didn't tell how much money they bought them for, or any financials, but it was like they just bought 6 drones. So I was
Yeah,
like, we'll give it a try, and it worked out beautifully on Friday. A lot of times I don't trade on Fridays, but if there's a catalyst like that, U.S.
yeah,
Army, let's go,
yeah,
hoorah!
yeah. If anything military, U.S. military is buying from any company in the stock market, it is definitely going to bring some action into that stock. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that, especially AI and drone and military robots, because China is working crazy right now on military robots. A few other
Yep.
countries are too. So
Report that just came out 3 minutes ago. It says Venezuela's allies from Brazil to China denounce U.S. attack.
I
That's good.
was thinking that when we were talking about it, that Venezuela is part of the BRICS nations, and
Mm-hmm.
that is probably going to be looked at as an attack on the BRICS nations. And there it is. There's the headline, because China
Yep.
and Brazil, both major players in BRICS, and they are denouncing the U.S. and shunning the U.S.
It says it's
Uh,
Brazil, Russia, Colombia, Mexico, Cuba, and
yeah,
China all rejected the U.S. military action in South America, in the South American nation. So,
yeah. A lot of South American countries are in the BRICS. A lot of them joined on. So that's what I was thinking. This may not be a good thing. See, here's the worst part about this. When it's overseas, we don't feel it as much over here when
mm-hmm.
there's a war or anything like that. This one is not overseas. It is farther. I mean, it is far away because South America is not close, but it is a lot closer. And we normally, I don't think, other than the beginning of America, there's not really been any wars on this side of the world. So not a cool thing to really be beefing with South America, I feel like, at this moment. But
Yeah. I wonder, a lot of times we see like in China and Russia, especially, they do things that they're like, well, what is the US going to do about it? And I wonder, is this like one of those things where it's like, well, Russia's been attacking Ukraine, or other things have been going under the radar that they've been just kind of squeezing past the US. They've been working on all this weaponry, all these things that are undocumented, and US is like, oh, okay, y'all don't think we're gonna do something about it? Let's just give them a show of power here, that we can
yeah,
take any of y'all up out y'all's bedroom whenever we want. It could have been a play like that. So
yeah, it has to be something like that, because they know, Trump knows that making this attack on Venezuela had to be. It was going to piss off the BRICS nations. There's no way around it. They knew what they were doing. Interesting. So we're starting this year off with bangs all over the place.
real
Booms,
bangs.
booms, bops, bows. 2026 is going to be a year of something. But it does look like we're going to continue the AI robot bull market. We'll see what the job reports come back and see where inflation goes. See if we get another interest rate cut or not.
You got any more crypto updates from what you've been seeing over there?
So, yeah, Bitcoin's struggling to get back up to that 100K mark, but I think it's because we're seeing the spread into the altcoins. Solana's started rebounding, XRP's rebounding some more. A lot of the altcoins are getting some heat.
Do you think that this is a late a late Christmas rally? Because usually Christmas rally kind of starts a little bit earlier towards Christmas, but this year, I think it was January 1st that we start to really see a nice little uptick back on Bitcoin and back on all that. You think it's a late Christmas rally, or do you think this is going to be extension into the next year of a rally on crypto?
I think it's an extension. Last year was not a bit like, yes, Bitcoin ran over 100,000. Several cryptos hit all-time highs last year, but that was a very short period of time. Before that, we were in pretty much a bear market. And even now, after this crash, because it was such a short period of time, that bear market has continued. But we're getting a lot more clear regulation on crypto and who the major players are and who's moving the market. So I believe we're getting into a more safer or safe feeling crypto market that we've never had before with all these regulations. When I say safe, I mean with big investors and hedge funds and stuff like that. So there's a bull. The bull is coming in the crypto market.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of money that had to be moved around, a lot of things that had to be straightened out, but that's coming for sure. AI has only made blockchain tech better.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to look into see how much or if Warren Buffett was really like, what was he into crypto, or was he just on more the long-term side, or what?
No, for longest, so for the longest time, Warren Buffett was anti-crypto. Him and Charlie Munger hated crypto. They did not want, at least that's what their public opinions were. But here recently, they started changing their tune, or at least Buffett did. I'm not 100% sure about Munger, but so who knows what Buffett had in the background, because I mean, other big players in the financial markets, faces like Peter Schiff, has always said and debated against Bitcoin. However, for his gold on his website, he takes Bitcoin as a payment and has took Bitcoin as a payment for years.
Mm-hmm.
So what they say and what they do is two different things. So I don't know exactly where Warren Buffett's at in his portfolio or anything like that with crypto, but I know he has changed his tune around.
Gotcha.
And I mean, that's the thing. Once Grayscale, BlackRock, and Vanguard, all of them have changed their tune and now putting ETFs and doing all the financial instruments that they can with crypto. Yeah, Buffett and everybody else, they're all hopping on board.
Gotcha.
And that's what I'm saying. That all took a lot of time. So that's where the crypto market's been at and where it's headed into. We're going to get a big influx of money from traditional investors in the crypto, which we've never had before. That's where that new bull run's coming.
Well, that looks like our time.
Yeah, man. This has been another episode of Wall Street and Web3. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, how your holidays was, and what 2026 is going to bring. Join the Discord, link in the description below. Trade with HHTrader. You can follow him live on YouTube at HHTrader and Kick and everywhere else. You can find me, Framework Fortune, everywhere. Peace.